Hello, I'm Evan.
I'm John, what up?
Welcome to the first installment of the Real Easy Show YouTube series.
Yes, sir.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm feeling that.
So we started making podcasts. Been doing that for a couple months now. We were gonna try a video type deal.
Yeah, we're hopping into it. We just want to appeal to a different audience, I guess. We'll see how it goes with YouTube.
See where we're going with it. We're out here, Railroad Park in Birmingham. And yeah.
We're going to be talking about gluten-free goodies. Whether or not gluten-free really means anything.
Because I don't think that gluten is just bad unless you're celiac. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't think it does anything for your health.
So
anyway,
yeah.
We're gonna embark on the gluten journey. Come with us.
Railroad Park. There's a lot of people. It's the end of the work day. A lot of people out here getting their steps in, being active. Running. A good crowd. Yeah. You want to be in? We want some people. What's your names?
I'm Javon Holloway, out here in the streets of Birmingham.
Yeah.
Tearing it down for the Instagram, gotta get some good pictures.
Yeah, we saw you over there getting those bangers.
Yes.
So our vlog topic is about gluten.
Oh,
okay. Do you guys try to avoid products with gluten?
No, I'm pretty young, so I just try to eat whatever I can get my hands on at the moment. I don't know what gluten is.
Yep. There you have it. One of them doesn't know, doesn't care. And the other one has a friend that's celiac. So we're here with Chris at the Boxcar Cafe.
Gluten, if I'm not mistaken, is found in wheat and maybe a few other grains. I have seen the gluten-free exclamation mark advertising on everything. I've seen it on meat, I've seen it on vegetables, but I think it takes advantage of people who haven't done their research.
Yeah.
Quite a smattering. So you do know about it?
Yeah.
Can we talk to you on camera?
No.
Really?
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
We'll
sorry,
take your
guys,
data.
I don't
Thank
like
you.
to be on camera.
Cool beans.
Cool.
Beans, 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 beans,
Cool.
beans,
Beans.
beans.
Cool.
My name is,
Cool beans.
and personally, I do think the market kind of takes advantage of putting gluten-free on products.
Yeah.
Because I see that it's a lot of snack food products that has gluten-free.
Okay.
So I feel like they're taking advantage of that.
You guys aren't like celiac or anything like that?
I have no idea what celiac is.
It means you're like intolerant to gluten.
Not that I know of. I ain't never been told from the doctor's office.
It's never been a problem. Okay.
It's probably a good thing then.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
good.
we just wanted some insight.
So here we are, the Whole Foods. Oh, it looks like the camera's about to fall. Try not to be rude. We're gonna go see, check out the gluten-free aisle.
Gluten-free. Two
think-
different brands.
Let's
Oats
see.
don't have gluten.
Oats don't have gluten to begin with.
Only wheat, barley, or rye.
But then some of them, like these ones, Oat Bran, gluten-free, wheat-free, gluten-free oven-baked bars, organic, gluten-free, whole grain and vegan, gluten-free.
There's no reason for that.
All the kind, it's all gluten-free.
I thought we had a good brand in kind, but I guess not. Didn't expect this. I honestly was expecting to see maybe a couple of products, but it's almost
pretty much
every product.
No gluten, dairy, or soy. Free logo.
Yeah, so a
Yeah.
couple of products.
This whole brand is called Glutino.
Jeez.
Glutino. Oh, there it is. Gluten-free. Focus. Gluten-free. 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 Gluten-free.
Definitely would never contain gluten. Little green pea. Snack crisp.
What is this even made out of? Green peas.
Look at all the ingredients.
A million, like
Definitely good product.
gluten-free, seaweed thin, sriracha almond, savory and sweet crispy wafers.
Gluten-free, baby.
Gluten-free. Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
It's just potatoes. Potatoes don't have gluten. They all have the gluten-free logo on them.
Apple chips. Obviously, there's nothing on the front. That's fine. But then the very first bare facts is that it's
The bare facts, gluten-free.
I don't get it.
Gluten-free, whole grain. None of this stuff would have gluten in it to begin with. Gluten-free. This is gluten-free and sustainable. Got some gluten-free honey. It's a gluten-free breads and desserts. We got a exotic black rice gluten-free loaf. It's a bunch of gluten-free cakes. But we saw a lot of gluten-free
Too many gluten-free
marketing ploys that might not be that necessary. Hoover Public Library. Figured we could research the topic, get some knowledge.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Yes. Any books that have to do with gluten?
We have a
But yeah,
data.
there looks like a lot of stuff might be useful.
There you go.
Oh, that's perfect.
This is health in general right here.
Okay.
And,
After me.
Got some good. John, can you hear me? You can? I can hear you. What if you like went in there, you frustrated, you started screaming? Boy.
We'll just have to clap.
Yeah. Wait. That makes sense.
Damn it.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello? 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 What? Hello?
Hello, hello.
I use my solution. Dope.
Okay, cool.
That's where we line it up. All right.
Hello, and welcome to the Real Easy Show Studios. A lot of you people have never seen it before.
Yeah, welcome. It's in my bedroom.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Get these dope swivel mics.
Yes, sir. We just added the fourth mic recently, but so you'll be seeing some pods with 4 people on it.
4 quad pod.
Yes, sir. As you can see, we got Dr. Phil back there. Maybe you
I
can't,
don't know if he's in full.
but Dr. Phil's back there.
He's,
okay.
he's up there.
Yeah. So this is we're gonna do a little summary, I guess, of the gluten-free topic.
What we learned.
Yeah. So we wrote something out. I mean, so we went to the library and learned a lot of information about what
Knowledge.
Yeah, knowledge is power. It gives us access to the upper echelons of society. And also, side note, we learned that all books are just money makers.
Yeah.
It's pure. It's just profit based. There's
so many. All the, I don't know.
yeah, it's not like a whole
lot of
like
trendy books.
yeah,
a lot
like
of,
2 shelves.
so
of
many diet books.
Jillian Michaels books.
Yeah.
And like she can't be writing that much. She doesn't know that much. Anyway,
she knows enough to take advantage of people.
yeah, for sure. I guess that's all you need. I guess.
Yeah.
So I can't really blame her for that. Anyway, so we read a couple of books. Notably, I think it was called The Gluten Lie. I don't remember who it was by. I wrote it in here probably, but he talked a lot about what we'll call CD, which is celiac disease, and how it affects.
Which is the intolerance of gluten.
Right, yeah. So how gluten is impacting people with CD, and even people without CD, which they believe there are more people that have NCGS, as it's labeled, which is non-celiac gluten sensitivity, which basically just means that you're intolerant to gluten, but you don't actually have celiac disease. It's kind of the same thing. It's just not. I don't know. Anyway,
Just a little more mild.
yeah. So the CD is affected or believed to be affected. What's the word I'm looking for? Start over with that. CD is believed to affect 6% of people, which it doesn't sound like a lot. And then there's a lot of debate over how many people are affected by NCGS. Some people, like the CD Research Center, will say that it's up to 40% of people that are affected by that, but that can't really be proven due to case study size and the amount of studies that have actually happened. There's only been one, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So they don't know the exact number. Nobody does, but so that, in my opinion, it doesn't really affect our results and how we're viewing the gluten-free marketing craze. It just doesn't. It still doesn't justify that everything should be labeled gluten-free, whether or not it had gluten in it. And so that's something we learned from the Gluten is a Lie books, or the Gluten Lie. So the Gluten Lie obviously is saying that gluten isn't really something that needs to be taken seriously. Just it's more of a fad diet. And then there were a couple of other books by the guy named William Davis. He wrote like Wheat Belly. There was a couple other ones. And something that he talked about, like, it's almost like clickbait, his books are, but then what he talks about is kind of, it's more of a middle ground. Like, he talks about how people should stray away from gluten and eat gluten-free and stuff, and then once you get into the meat of his book, he talks about, not eating gluten necessarily, but not eating gluten-free products.
Yeah, he was saying his whole point of his book was like avoiding wheat, but he said even if you should still not eat the gluten-free products, because a lot of times those are even going to be worse for you.
Yeah.
And he even talked about how, let's see, so there's a 242% increase in price for gluten-free alternative products.
So,
yeah,
like that right there tells you all you need to know about what we're
pretty.
trying to tell you.
Yeah, like the companies have just seen the desire and the people wanting to buy these products, so they just marked them up a ton.
Yeah. I mean, and you can't really fault the companies there, but the problem is, like, people still believe that it's better for you, maybe because it costs more. I mean, that can't be proven by what we've researched, but to me, I mean, it makes sense. Like, if I go to a store and something has all these markings like non-GMO, organic, I'm going to think it's more likely to be those things if it costs more money, even though it may not be better for me. Because not only are they more expensive, but sometimes, like, even William Davis was talking about the alternative in gluten-free products to gluten is normally worse for you than gluten would have been to
he
begin
said
with.
it was the same as eating a bowl of jelly beans, like a lot of the products were. Yeah.
And that's, so that right there, you can't always trust what the companies are saying is basically what's going on here. I mean, that's always been the case. I mean, fad diets, especially pertaining to gluten, have gone back, really far. Like 1800s, 1880s is when the first fad diet started. Yeah. And there are even ones that were more impactful than that. Like there was the one in the 20s, I think it was, people were eating bananas and milk. That was all they were eating. And it was because, like, they thought they didn't need to eat bread, which essentially was the gluten thing. But and so they literally would just eat bananas and skim milk. And that doesn't sound great, but people still actually do it, which is funny. Like, there's still websites that preach that diet.
And and then going back to there's a lot of evidence that states that the gluten-free companies that produce all these products, they actually pay the gluten-free websites, like the celiac disease websites, to advertise for their products and plug their products into the informational websites.
Yeah, it's all politicized.
Completely separate entities.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
it can't be good. um, so that the funny thing was we also learned that a lot of the symptoms that people with NCGS have are also very similar to people that have anxiety. So like if the fear mongering about gluten and GMO products and non-organic products creates an anxiety to eat, then people could just be experiencing anxiety rather than gluten sensitivity. It's
so
pretty
they get
funny.
so worried about it that it causes the symptoms.
Right, yeah. So like I mean, it's not really funny to laugh at people like that, but at the same time, like, you just need to be able to be aware of what's going on with your body rather than just like believing that a brand can diagnose your problem. I don't know. The main point is, which we learned in both books, is that you think you're experiencing a problem, you should probably go to the doctor.
Yeah.
And obviously we vouch for that. We're not saying you should heal all your problems at home. And also it doesn't hurt anything to not eat gluten. The problem is that it shows it can hurt your wallet a little bit if you try to eat gluten-free products, and it can actually make you less healthy to eat gluten-free.
It's not necessary.
But if you think it's going to help you, you might as well try it. I mean, it's not. we're not saying you shouldn't necessarily try it, which is funny because we kind of molded our argument to be different, because when we first started, I don't know how much we expressed this in video form, but it was, to me at least, I thought we were going to completely debunk the fact that gluten is actually harmful at all.
Yeah.
Like, obviously I knew like carbs would not be preferred, just because the whole, like, another thing that we also kind of confirmed in those books was that carbohydrates cause inflammation, and inflammation is known to cause many things: Alzheimer's, diabetes. So all it correlates basically to saying that what I thought at the beginning was kind of wrong, that gluten doesn't really do anything. So what I'm trying to say is, like, gluten isn't necessarily an evil, but at the same time, it's not good for you. You shouldn't try to set out to eat it.
Yeah.
You should set out to maybe avoid it. Anyway, which is, I don't know if it's funny, but Evan was recently diagnosed and said that he shouldn't be eating gluten
like
anymore.
I've had stomach problems for, past like year, and they finally diagnosed me with IBS. So one of the things I have to cut out is gluten.
It's right in the middle of this video.
Yeah, it was literally in the middle of our experiment.
Again, not exactly funny, but it's
kind of ironic.
Yeah.
The thing, and then when we were researching too, one thing that I found pretty interesting, which was in the anti-wheat book, was he was talking about how a lot of the gluten intolerance, like a lot of the negative effects from gluten, started arising around the same time that farmers started changing and manipulating the crops, like wheat and stuff, to be more cost effective, be more tasty, kind of be more addictive, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, people run into that problem a lot. With other things. I mean, it's easy to see why that would happen. They're trying to create a higher yield, so they don't really care about the side effects.
Yeah, and it was really just around the same time that the commercialization of wheat started. That's when a lot of the people started becoming gluten intolerant, which is a interesting coincidence.
Yeah, it
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, we never thought we would find that in an anti-wheat book, something that kind of contributes to our side of the argument. Which, I mean, at the same time, though, we're kind of now I would say we're kind of anti-wheat at the same time, because like I kind of knew that wheat and carbs were bad for you, but I didn't realize it was going to be. You know what I mean? Like, people really don't think you should eat it. Like, there's a big push on the other side not to eat it at all. Which is cool. I mean, there's other grains too, and it's funny because wheat is the one that's most talked about with gluten, but we learned that barley and rye both have gluten in them.
Yeah.
And obviously rye is mostly used to make bread and, what is it, vodka or something? Maybe not. There's some sort of liquor that rye is made with, but it doesn't really apply to most people. Beer. Barley's in beer, I believe. Barley. I mean, sometimes you'll run into barley if you go to like a vegan breakfast place or something, but you probably
barley.
So you probably won't see a lot of those other two. But I just never knew that, and it just took like one simple Google search to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a good time filming this video. And then those people
Let us
on the
know what
street.
you thought.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
Peace.
Sweet.